This world's a little crazy, just look around and see. But I believe someone is watching over you and me, because I know He loves His children and He's Lord of everything. So I'll sing this song for Him. God bless the RSA. Victoria down to Cape Town, from sea to shining sea. There's a whole lot of good in the things I've seen. And I got hope and I got faith. I get a little bit more each day. God bless the RSA. My friends love this country, it's so easy to see. They're grounded in this dirt by love and family, and they're dreaming of a future where they are safe and free. So I'll sing this song for them. God bless the RSA. Victoria down to Cape Town, from sea to shining sea. There's a whole lot of good in the things I've seen. And I got hope and I got faith. I get a little bit more each day. God bless the RSA. I know there are good people all across this land, given a chance, take each other's hand and rise up like a rainbow, reaching for a brighter day. God bless the RSA. Victoria down to Cape Town, from sea to shining sea. There's a whole lot of good in the things I've seen. And I got hope and I got faith. I get a little bit more each day. God bless the RSA. God bless the RSA.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Well, Dean Chancey with God Bless the RSA. Lovely song. Welcome back to the program, folks. This is Chris, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, sitting here on a Thursday. Brett Sessoms just gave $10. Thanks, Brett. Wow, that's awesome. Off work today due to inclement weather. Been studying Italy in World War I. I would recommend you study Italy and its conflict with the Ottoman Empire in Libya. That's an incredibly fascinating war, the Ottoman War in North Africa in 1912. There's a couple good books out on that. Check that out. Thoughts on both. Mussolini and Italy. Okay, so thoughts on World War I. The Italians were turncoats. They were part of the Central Powers, and then they abandoned them to get the spoils, and as a consequence, they stole South Tyrol, which belonged to Austria and was inhabited 90% by ethnic Austrians, German speakers. Then they flooded Italians into the region, increasing their percentage up to 1/3. And it's been part of Italy ever since, when it actually belongs to Austria. But anyway, that's South Tyrol, Südtirol. And thoughts. Mussolini was evil and flipped. Yeah, Mussolini was evil. He was the original fascist. So there you go. Italy were turncoats. Yep. All right. So I just published a video on the Roman Cabanac saga. And while the Dean Chancey song was playing, I went to look at comments to see if there are a lot of comments. I just published it like 10 minutes ago. There's already 300 views on it, which is pretty good. But fascinating comments. Let me get to this first comment here before I get to the news because it just really threw me off. Nikosa Guru said, Chris, why Tango Foxtrot have you turned against the DA like this? Your false assessment of the situation is a load of BS. Who has got you on? Whose payroll are you on? Whose payroll am I on? What are you talking about? First off, I've never seen that person before. Clearly, that's a DA operative who's coming here and asking me questions, turned on the DA. I've never been for the DA. I've never been against the DA. I've simply reported objectively on the DA all along. Turned on the DA? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I simply report objectively here. If you watch the video, you will see that I've raised questions about the conduct of members of the DA. And quite frankly, I mean, look, someone can come and accuse me of being biased or accuse me of having a grudge against DA, but any cogent observer will notice that endlessly, repeatedly, members of the DA go to the press and collude with the press to undermine the party's position. In fact, if anything, I spoke well of the party in here. I talked badly of some of its members. I think that it's pretty clear when trolls attack you what they're doing here. I didn't attack the DA specifically. I didn't call John Steenhuisen a coward, which I was tempted to do in my analysis, but backed off and said cowardice or prudence. Left it an option for the viewer to decide which it is. But it is fascinating to see how people comment. Whose payroll am I on? My payroll. And the super chats are few and far between. Yes, Doring Hawk says DA is its own worst enemy by running weak leadership. I would have to agree with that. Love to agree with that. Yep. They put tan lotion under their arm. What the hell is that? What is that? Welcome, everybody. But let me go back. I want to read some of these comments, see what else is here. That was the DA's never changed. They are a spineless party, said one person. Weak politicians are why this country is a failure. Fighting over the spoils, no matter the party. SA's fate is sealed, as is always known. Yeah, it's no different here. Cowardice, and if I was Rahman, I would sue the media and all who brought this about for torturous interference in contract. I would sue Steenhuisen, he says. What I don't understand is both Rahman and Ronaldo were put in positions knowing what their social media platforms are. Were the two R's put in positions just to be embarrassed? Yeah, it's a good question there, Scoops. Thank you very much. And Nikosa Guri once again asked me, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, do I turn against DA? I was never for the DA. I was never against the DA. I'm reporting objectively on the DA. John and his lot are definitely going to lose a lot of votes coming the 26 local elections. They're certainly losing this person's, Rita said. And now praising Gordon. Something up there. Oh, that's Garrett. The DA are truly pathetic. If this is true, if they can't endure something like this, then they'll have no fortitude. Yep. Somebody said it's the Freemasons. I don't know about that. And another patron said she's hot full of politicians. Another person said the DA have lost my vote. And then Sean's encouraging people to vote for OHM. Well, okay. They're a little odd. Politics is snake pit. All out. That's Garrett. We now know what's going on to happen to Ronaldo, says someone. Yeah, well, that's a possibility. Someone said disgusting. John Cave. A lot of temporary usernames going on here. So what was that? Brett gave another $10. Well, Brett, thank you. Trump could have done better on the debate, but the moderators are so pro-Kamala. The moderators berated Trump and gave Trump, yep. Yes, Mussolini is evil. And Leo Framak just subscribed. Thank you. Buy a donkey for subscribing, Leo. Yeah, so those are the comments that have popped up on the video thus far. Oh, there's a few more. Boy, Garrett's put a few in here. Spineless. Not the first time. Yeah, John Cave said someone. So, yeah. Well, there you go. So that video had 22 comments already on it, and it's been posted for 15 minutes. Got about 657 views. That's one of the better performing videos. That used to be 1 minute for my videos. Honestly, I used to get like 1,000 views a minute before the censorship kicked in. So anyway, but yeah, back to this, folks. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being with me, and we'll keep an eye on this. 22 comments, 29 comments. If 5 more people comment while I said that, wow. Yeah, like rhinos, Rahman should not resign and agree 100%. DA have lost my vote. Wow. Yeah, so 4 more comments just came in the last couple minutes, so thank you for that. and the views are spiking on that one. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chats, Brett. John Huchin is back. Welcome. Let me say hello to everybody. And we're going to talk about this Ramon Cabanac saga and John Steenhuisen. Val Cooper, Pablo Charlie, Arc Precision, Richard Coon, Emil Therrett, Allison Johnson, Teresa Ents, Teeny, Val Cooper, Garrett Gillich, Kevin Ziller's back. Good to see you again. Arc Precision, Gus is here. Pablo Charlie is looking for attention again. John Huchin, of course. Shawnee, welcome to you. The American audience is poured in here. Rod Lofeld and Chris Scoops is me, says Val. Okay, thanks, Val. That's cool. And James Bowie. All right. The implementation of a Republican alliance is the liberation of free people. Even Rob Hersoff said it. Well, just because Rob Hersoff said it doesn't make it true, but thank you for your contribution. Brett comes with another super chat. Joe Scarborough says, mainstream media is too soft on Trump. It's true, but funniest thing I've ever heard. Joe Scarborough is a joke. Yeah, Joe Scarborough is a fraud, a total fraud, a fake rhino, a fake Republican rhino. Yeah. By the way, the one thing I didn't put in my video, which I meant to put in there, is that the DA is South Africa's rhinos. I meant to put that in there, but I didn't do it. Face says, off subject, do you believe South African government didn't sell weapons? I believe, without any evidence, based on the conduct of the South African government, that they did something inappropriate, if not illegitimate, with the Lady R. And my supposition, with no facts to support it, this is simply an opinion because you ask. That's why I've not made an allegation against the government. It's not why I made a video claiming it was there. My supposition, as the government of South Africa, of course, did give fuel, medicine, and supplies to the ship, which is normal for a ship at port to be resupplied. I'm sure they did that. They denied they did anything, but they did that. And since they denied that, then it leads me to believe they did something else. And I suspect that they transferred either some UAV sort of components or something like that that's underdeveloped by Denel that just we're not aware of publicly. They took a delivery of ammunition and weapons, which they should have simply publicly disclosed, but they didn't do it. So I don't have an answer for you, Face, because I don't have evidence. I was in Simonstown, but not when the Lady R was there. I was there recently. Rob Hersoff said after 29th of May that MK is more dangerous than EFF. Alex Hogue laughed at him. Well, look at it now. MK is not that big a threat. Thank you for the super chat, Brett. $5. MK is a cult of personality that will collapse with the death of Jacob Zuma. It'll be gone like that. Yep. I predicted the EFF is also a cult of personality. It would disappear with the disappearance of Julius Malema. However, Julius Malema has not left, and the party's already imploding. So, yeah. How's the weather in Murcia? Banana. I have no idea what the weather's like in Murcia. I know that people are harassing undercover cops are harassing people in the streets of Murcia. I know that much. 15%. Whoa, Floyd Chavamu joined. Whoop-de-doo. Dave O'Shea just subscribed. Thank you, Dave O'Shea, for subscribing. Freelance Kate, hello everyone. Did Steenhuisen really sack? No, he didn't, Freelance Kate. And we're going to talk about that extensively, but we got some other news to get to, and we're doing opening discussion here. The situation is Steenhuisen has asked Ramon to resign. He should not resign. He should not resign. If Ramon Cabanac resigns, it will confirm what they claim about him, even though it's not true, and he will get nothing. He is a government employee. He's a civil servant. He has a contract with the government of South Africa, and I believe it's for like 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. They can only fire him for cause, misconduct, or criminal activity, none of which he's committed in the 6 weeks. They call him a controversial chief of staff. Hey, Face is just donated. Woo, what's going on here? Thank you, Face, for $2. Man, where's this coming from? They cannot fire him for cause. They have no cause. He has no misconduct. He's not been no allegations against him. When News 24 calls him controversial, he's not a controversial chief of staff. He's only controversial because you're making him controversial. There is not a single thing that Ramon Cabanac has done that is controversial while serving as chief of staff. Now, in his past roles, you can make an argument he's controversial in his previous affectations, but not currently. So that is libel. And it is misleading. It's intentionally misleading. It's called yellow journalism. Trump tried to call it fake news, but it's yellow journalism. That term was coined over a century ago in the Spanish-American War and William Randolph Hearst's media publications trying to push America into a conflict, which eventually worked. Caroline doesn't agree with Ramon must not resign. No, he must not resign. Let them fire him. Then he goes to the tribunal. Then he has a cause for unlawful termination. That's what he should do. Whether you like Rahman or not, you should not revel in the joy of him dealing with this. Because I'll tell you why. Today it's Cabanac. Tomorrow it's you. How easy is it for someone to come and accuse you of being a racist at your job and get sacked? We all know how easy it is in South Africa. This garbage should not be allowed to stand. Look, I'm not defending Rahman Cabanac, and I've said it repeatedly. Of course, we're going to get the hate wankers. You're defending Rahman. I'm not defending him. I'm also not attacking him. But I said clearly in that video, he said some stupid stuff. Never would have said what he said. I mean, absolutely ridiculous things he said in there. Let me pull up one of them right now. Hang on, where's it at here? Rahman's statement. Here it is. This is the one that I made. This is, by the way, this is in the Drakensberg, the picture in the background, in case you're wondering what it is. I took that when I was there. Erica was with me then and her caregiver. I push boundaries to gain attention on social media and sometimes made divisive, idle, and poorly considered statements in the heat of online journalism. Well, admitting that you made divisive, idle, which means useless, and poorly considered, which means dumbass decision statements, is not a wise position to take. While some of my criticisms were well-founded, I also admit that others were insensitive and provocative. Provocative is okay. Driven by a desire to invite debate, that's all fine. But insensitive, divisive, poorly considered, idle, those are nails in the coffin, and not a smart move by Rahman Cabanac. Whether he made that decision because it was his freely, or he was advised that by someone counseling him, or he was told to do that, whatever the case is, that was not smart. And of course, Condom Dan Quarter has already come out and attacked him. Let me find that one real quick here. That's another one. Condom Dan Quarter. So that's going to be, hang on a second. Where's it at? Hang on, give me a second here. Where's it at? There it is. Condom Dan Quarter. Here we go. Here we go. Little Danny sitting on his bed there, running his mouth. The grifter admits that he used you. He peddled in bigotries to get a following, used the following to get ahead, then walks back his bigotries and throws the following under the bus. And we were all warned you. We've seen this play before. He built his business off you. Now what? Ouch. Well, that's exactly what the response was going to be. What did Rahman Cabanac expect the response to be? I mean, honestly, think about it. I'm not picking on Rahman, but if he did this of his own volition, not smart. If someone counseled him to do this, not smart. I don't know what they're doing here. But Rahman should not resign. No, not at all. And John Steenhuisen is either weak or a coward. And now he's saying it was a bad decision. Well, then that brings into question the things they said about you from the very beginning, your competency as a minister, your judgment. Patrick is vindicated by never voting for the DA. Anna Banana says, Drakensberg. This is so moy. Thought it was a picture of Scotland. Nope, it's the Drakensberg. Yep, it's just outside the Royal Natal National Park. Ansley says, their name calling Rahman is hyperbolic, though bigoted. Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. All right, who have I missed here? Maybe you should contact Rahman and advise. Val, I'm not doing that. It's not my place to advise Rahman in this issue because I become part of it. I have to talk to people on the periphery who know Rahman. Yeah, but I'm not offering advice. If he asks for it, that's different, but I'm not going to offer it of my own accord. It's not my place to do that. I'm not a legal expert in South Africa. I'm just a person that, knows Africa, but I'm not an attorney. So he has to listen to the advice he gets from folks there, unless he wants some advice, but certainly not going to offer it. It's not appropriate. Just like the only advice I can offer to Ronaldo was never to apologize. He shouldn't have apologized in the first place. But, I mean, that was already done before I even knew that the attack was occurring for Ronaldo. This does raise questions about what the result's going to be for Ronaldo. We should be hearing it soon. I don't know when. But hopefully we'll hear a result from their investigation. There's no merit to removing Ronaldo as a member of parliament, none whatsoever by the Democratic Alliance. But will they do it? Will they do it? Or will they stand up like men and women and stand behind their member, who has an impeccable, incredible, successful record as a ward counselor? And that was with these videos out there. He represented the party as a ward counselor. Julius Malema can represent the EFF while calling for the murder of white South Africans and also saying that, we're not going to commit genocide of whites. Not yet, is what he said. Remember that? Yeah. Also exhorting his followers to commit domestic terrorism against clicks locations and not being charged with any crimes. Exhorting his followers to burn the Boer out at Senegal, and 92,000 hectares of farmland destroyed and people killed, livestock killed, wildlife killed. Yeah, those people can sit in Parliament, but Ronaldo can't because he made an educational video that people altered and misled the public with. Yeah. Dion Skuman, welcome to you. Brian Lawrenson. Yes, Ramon may very well be watching, as might Ronaldo. Who knows who else is watching? I wonder if Karen Moun's watching. I doubt it. Still can understand how the DA never saw this coming. Yeah, well, that's, Patrick, if you watch my video, that's exactly what I say. Did John Steenhuisen not see this coming? Why is there not, third party to vote for in USA? There are plenty of third parties, Anna Banana. Oh, we've got lots of third parties. We have the Libertarian Party, which habitually gains a few million votes every year. We have the Green Party, which gets about 1 million votes every time there's election. We have the Constitution Party. We have lots of third parties. But the corrupt media landscape and the power of the two large parties excludes all the rest. We have the Reform Party. That actually had a candidate for president a few years back. Ross Perot got 19% of the vote. Lots of other parties here. It's just that people are misled because of the way the system is presented. Jeff Bland says something support. Okay, Jeff, well, good for you. I don't know what that is. Good for you. Ramon is a lawyer, is he not? The worst thing he can do is resign. I think he got gumption to stick it out. Yeah, Richard Kuhn, yeah, he is an attorney. He's not practicing as far as I know, but free IVF with Trump and no tax Social Security, no poison in our food supply. Okay, that must be the JFK portion there, that no poison in our food supply. We'll get back to Ramon in just a couple minutes. Thanks for the 120 plus people currently here. And for those watching the video, much of what I just said, you're going to find some of that inside that video. So MK parties. So Jeff, what is the purpose of that? Is the purpose of that to draw attention so somebody can get a screen capture and say, look at the people that follow my channel? I mean, what exactly are you trying to accomplish there, Jeff? You put your comment in all caps. The only person on this channel who's a habitual all cap person is our moderator, Hendo. So I'm going to ask you to explain what that is, Jeff. I'll give you a couple moments to do that. What you mean by that? John doesn't have the guts to fire Ramon. He'll rather make life unbearable for him. Yeah, he can do that. You can do that. But yeah, that's the next. That would have been the smart step. But there's so much pressure on it now that they're going to have to ask him to resign. If they do, they're going to have to pay him a lot of money. He's a civil servant. He has a contract. They're going to have to buy his contract out because they have no reason to fire him for cause. Yep. Well, MK Party gets another ANC ward and picks them apart. Pablo Charlie will love this. And the DA has won its wards, all in KZN by-elections. Umkhonto we Sizwe Party dealt a blow to the ANC after scooping up Ward 14 in the Ray and Konyene municipality in by-elections in KZN. The MK Party in Ward 14 defeated the reactionary forces of the so-called Government of National Unity, despite the fact that they abused state resources and institutions to campaign in the ward, said the party's Numalo Ndela. What we've learned from these by-elections is that our people love and trust Umkhonto we Sizwe. We've also learned that members of different communities, traditional religious leaders, always want to be closely consulted on the choice of candidates. What we've learned from this by-election in KZN is that the power of Jacob Zuma and the identity politics of Zulu politics is why the ANC is losing wards, and they'll continue to lose wards. And the MK Party will be the largest party in KwaZulu-Natal. The IFP missed its chance in the waning years of the life of the great Mangosuthu Buthelezi to do something impressive, and as a result, the Zulu are flocking to Jacob Zuma, at least until he passes away or is incarcerated, whichever comes first. So when he gets incarcerated, they're probably liking him more. But the bottom line here is what we've learned from the by-elections in KZN is that Zulus vote for Zulus. Simple as that. ANC is toast. They will be a minor party in the next local elections in KZN. They'll be lucky to win anything outside Durban, to be honest, and a couple small municipalities elsewhere. They are not going to win anything. In fact, it will be MK, IFP, DA, and then ANC way down here in that order. And EFF won't even exist. Yep, that's what's happening. So that's what we learned from the by-elections, not what the MK party spokesman claims. Well, Ramaphosa and the Basic Education Amendment bill, what's going on there? Well, the power of politics and surprise. At what cost, says the Daily Maverick, as they seek to bring out the issue here. The announcement that President Ramaphosa will sign the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill on Friday will provide the first big test of a national coalition government. In particular, it forces the DA to make a difficult decision about whether to stay in the coalition. It also poses a risk for the ANC. Now, this is an analysis report and is clearly identified as such. Stephen Grutz is the author. Yep. The presidency announced that Ramaphosa would sign the law, but John Steenhuisen is not happy about that. And he should be unhappy about it, with good reason. Steenhuisen says that the DA will consider options if the bill is signed. They're not going to revolt. They'll remain the GNU. DA leaders also confirmed that he's asked Ramon Cabanac to resign as chief of staff. Now, that's an accurate news headline by Linda Enser. DA leader and Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen warned on Thursday that his party would have to consider all options on the way forward if President Ramaphosa signed into law the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill, which is expected to do tomorrow. He addressed the Cape Town Press Club. He said he'd hoped to find common ground with Ramaphosa on the bill. Yeah, so that's where we're going with the BELA bill. And meanwhile, the Education Minister is silent. Siviwe Gwaruba is quiet. Why is she quiet? The comment has been removed. No, it hasn't. It's there. Oh, it's there. Okay, well, he didn't respond, so we are going to... It's there. I don't know why you guys don't see it. Must be a person who changed their name and you've previously blocked is probably what it is. All right, so... Hey, Roger Rabbit's back. Where have you been? Off somewhere in the distance. All right, let's talk about Ramon Cabanac and the sacking. Let me go back and see how many comments on that video now before we go any further. All right, it was 29 last time I looked, and I've got some dislikes already. Wow. I got 2 dislikes. 52 comments now. Wow. And it has soared to 1,500 views. Well, that's the quickest I've had a video of 1,500 views in a while. So let's go read those comments. Definitely not an operative or troll, just someone that wants the best for all South Africa. Okay, never called you nothing. Never called. And the next person said, spot on, the deal remained and also ran party. Yep. Told you he would be fired when he was appointed. Also told you he was unqualified. This narrative that he's homophobic and racist is spun out by his supporters, but he was fired because he's unqualified. All you supporters have to do is simply put up a CV and show us his qualification to be chief of staff. Sean Berry says that. You told me, I don't know who you are, Sean Berry. When did you tell me that he was unqualified? I don't recall you ever telling me he's unqualified. What exactly makes him unqualified to be chief of staff? What are the qualifications of chief of staff, Sean Berry? Please run through that list. I've been a chief of staff of a $3 billion program. What exactly makes him unqualified? You would never allow that or support that in the U.S. Why should we allow it in South Africa? Well, obviously you don't like Ramon Cabanac. The Democrats would never do it. They're a party of hope and joy, remember? The DA is in cahoots with the UN agenda. This is slot-hop decision I expect from the DA, especially from John Steenhuisen. The ANC has so many Russian and other agents within it. John still needs to mature a little. Maybe he will or maybe won't. Cowardice. John really needs to grow a pair. I'm vindicated by the fact I've never voted for the DA. There are numerous reasons, but here's the thought. If Ramon was under Peter Groenewald, there would be more chance of me getting to the moon than this ever being a question. Groenewald would simply ignore the media and get on with doing the job with the best person possible. That's true. One of the reasons I wanted Freedom Front Plus to have 20%, not the DA, they would have pushed the ANC as far as possible. Well, that's not an unfair statement, but they are only 10% of that. Someone says cowardice. Someone says spineless. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ramon is not a racist or corrupt. He's rightly outspoken about government incompetence. Main media have been unfair in playing politics. Yep, exactly right. Hotful is not the word. It requires something more than that, says someone else. Benjamin. Yep, there you go. So, yeah, people are definitely commenting on that video, but I've got a couple dislikes on it. So if you happen to watch it, please give us a like so we can push it higher. Don't let the dislike crowd win that one. Yeah, so it's still gaining some steam. Hopefully people are watching it all the way through and not just clicking on it. Anyway, let's talk about this now. So the BELA bill is also another thorn in the flesh, the first big step in taking away our freedom of choice. Oh, absolutely, Caroline. South Africa was embroiled in civil war in 1976 in Soweto, and again 1985 with the attempt for the imposition of Afrikaans as the medium of instruction in schools. Well, they're trying to put English in. Now, at least Afrikaans made some sense. At the time they did that, 14% of South Africans, 15% spoke Afrikaans as a first language. 7% of South Africans speak English as a first language. It makes no sense whatsoever. And you can't make the argument, well, language, it's a language of business. It doesn't matter. It's not the language people speak growing up at home unless you want cultural genocide. If you want to eliminate the identity of Venda, if you want to eliminate the Tswana identity, Basotho identity, Xhosa identity, Khoisan identity, then what you do is you impose English so that kids learn English in school and they lose touch Thelma Nell just described. Thank you. They lose touch with their identity and their culture. It disappears. We have seen it countless times. Native American tribes, Apaches, Kiowa, Pueblo, Navajo, sent to Carlisle, Pennsylvania to the industrial school, and many others, where they're dressed up like Westerners and attend school and given a regimen and taught English as the first language of instruction. The kids come there and they can't even speak English normally, and within a matter of weeks they forget their native language. It stays, but it diminishes in quality. And after 2 generations, you wipe out an entire culture. That is what this is about. This is about communist oppression, using English. Do not use my mother tongue as your tool of oppression in South Africa. It is wrong. It's not about language. It's about filling Afrikaans schools with English learners that don't have schools in their areas. I disagree entirely, Arctic. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. You just build the schools. Why don't you build the schools? There's plenty of money for that. That's for once we disagree. Give me my Dwarvos right now. Roger Rabbit loves a beard. Well, the beard's getting shorter, brother. It's getting shorter. It might even get trimmed again today. I'm getting a haircut today. That's the plan. Yep. If you could be a colonel for any country's army except for that, which would it be? Man, I'll tell you. Today, I don't have respect for many militaries. Canadian military? Nope. British military? Nope. Ireland's simply too small, although that might be an advantage. Maybe Ireland. And another I'd consider would be Japan. Japan. If I was a colonel in military, Japan. Or Taiwan. Taiwan's a real military. Yeah. Taiwan, Japan, or Ireland. Yep. 10 kgs. What's this? Oh, of the Dorvos. Okay. Lord Kitchener returns with only wanting English info. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Patrick. There you go. Exactly. All right, let's get on to it. Here are the stories. First, this one here is fake news. Fake news by the Daily Maverick. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen sacks his chief of staff, Ramon Cabanac. That's a lie. That's factually incorrect. He didn't say that, and he didn't do it. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen has requested the resignation of newly appointed chief of staff. And they tell you right there the truth. They lie on the headline, but they tell you the truth. Confirmed the Daily Maverick at the National Communications Officer, Matthew Sims, who was with Steenhuisen at the Cape Town Press Club. So there you go. That's, first off, they knew the truth, and they ran a clickbait headline that lies to people. I'm half locked out as my credit card hacked and blocked, but here like a visitor. Oh, Jeff Bland. Hello, Jeff. You're in Australia, man. Okay. All right. Jeff Bland gave 10 Australian dollars. Well, thank you, Jeff. That's very kind of you. Particularly, YouTube blocked your comment. Okay, thank you for responding. But Jeff, do you use all caps? If you do, okay. We just hadn't seen you before. You can do that if you want. I'm not going to impose on you. I just wanted a response to that question. But thank you for your 10 Australian dollars. Appreciate that. And I'm not sure why YouTube blocked your comments, but thank you at least for recognizing, Jeff, that censorship isn't just moderators and the content creator. Most times on YouTube, it's actually YouTube that's doing it. It's not us. So thank you for that. But I do censor things that are inappropriate. Anything racist comes across, we remove that. Any people start getting malicious or abusive, we'll remove that. But thank you, Jeff. And thank you so much for the super chat. It's very kind of you. And welcome here. Kurtz is here. Why not South Africa? you know why I wouldn't be South Africa. I'm half. Okay. Gauteng Education Department haven't built schools in areas that need them 30 years. They're trying to hijack schools that are not really full. That's true, Arctic. There's the 10 Australian dollars. Thank you from down under there, Jeff. Well, that's true, Arctic, but that doesn't excuse it. And what you do by bringing these kids in and then forcing the school to switch to English, you change the character of a school and you destroy culture. That's what's trying to do. Joseph, why is Taiwan the largest child trafficking in the world? For the last 3,000 years, Chinese government's already attacked. I have no idea what you're talking about, Joseph. Where are you getting the concept that Taiwan is the largest child trafficking country in the world? I would suspect the largest place in the world with child trafficking would be Thailand, would be my expectation, but I don't have the facts on that. So, business day, and more on this story, actual getting into the meat of it a little bit here. Cabanac appointment a mistake, says John Steenhuisen. Wow. Frankly, I found it far too distracting from the work of my ministry and our government that he's the news story rather than the work department. I have asked him, therefore, whether he would consider stepping aside. Yeah, so there you go. I take full responsibility for the appointment. In hindsight, there should have been a little more due diligence done. In hindsight, there should have been greater foresight. Well, that's just dumb, John Steenhuisen. That's just stupid. You know who Ramon Cabanac was? You appeared on his program. You were interviewed by him. He has relations with Helen Zilla. He ran Tea with Helen. Remember that? Why in the world are you saying, with hindsight, are you admitting that you were dumb? Well, that's not very smart. That in itself would make you dumb. Murray Cornelius, thank you for subscribing. Yep. Who else we got here? Michelle says, I hope Ramon sues the media to Kingdom Come. Well, yeah, hopefully he does, but that takes money. Antisocial, I do not have any sympathy for the UK and the rest of Europe being taken over. Well, I hear you. Hey, Charmaine, how's it going? Most of the people, Caroline says, in the Western Cape speak Afrikaans, give each language a subject school. Yeah. Why would you force language down people? Well, that's what the National Party tried to do in 76 and again in 85, and it went badly for them. It's just amazing ANC's biatch. Jeff Bland is super chatting. Jeff, if you're super chatting because you can't comment, my apologies. You're not blocked on my channel. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to super chat, but thank you for that. Another 10 Australian dollars. Your color doesn't matter, nor does the way you pray. I'm a human just like you. I live a life day to day. That's a great phrase. I love that. That's fantastic. DA should have the ANC, left the ANC to form a government with the EFF, says Arctic. Chris Swanepoel's here. Yes, Kamala's father is an avowed communist. Yeah, he's a Jamaican communist. That's correct. All right, and that's not the end of it. Another one, the IOL gleefully reports it using the same stock photograph they've had now for a while. And they're going to correctly say that Steenhuisen asked Cabanac to step down despite a desperate plea to keep his government job. There's no desperate plea. What they're saying is a tweet by Ramon 2 days ago is a desperate plea on his part to keep his job. In response, criticism acknowledged his past mistakes. Reflecting, anyway, says he's urging South Africans to give him a chance by serving this job. Yeah, well, he did ask that, but it's not a plea. He just, it's really sad. Really, really sad how they do this. Anyway, by the way, South Africa's going to be hosting the G20 summit in 2025. It's going to cost 700 million rand. Wow. Shouldn't even be in the G20. It'll be held in November next year, and the host city is yet to be determined. I vote for Rustenburg. There's Jeff Bland's second $10 Australian Super Chat. Thank you so much, Jeff. Appreciate it. Yeah, I vote for Rustenburg. Yeah, let's do it there. The local primary school has a lovely rugby field. They could set up tents out there in Rustenburg. It'd be a big boon for the economy in Northwest. and people from Botswana could come attend it. The G20. Give me a break. Leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Velenkosi Labisa, also Minister of Traditional Governance and Cooperative Affairs, has been given go-ahead to demand that national departments at the federal level pay the 21 billion rand that they owe to cities. Wow. No wonder towns like Shwane are broke. People are not paying their rates, and therefore they can't pay ESCOM, and the city can't meet its obligations. Plus, the federal government, the national government, is not giving them the money that they owe them as well. No wonder the city's in crap. Sinette DeLong, welcome back. Sinette, it's been a while. Angelique, South African journalism has gone down the toilet years ago. Irresponsible reporting, not factual, what frauds. You are 100% correct. Anna, he is an economic professor focusing on Marxism. Yes. Michael says this government is a millstone around our necks. Yeah, as is mine at the moment. Yep. All right, let's continue on. So, Siviwe Gwaruba, the Minister of Basic Education in the DA, has canceled a $10 billion a year school feeding tender. She said that they go back to the drawing board with the department to seek ways to feeding scheme to roll out efficient, corruption-free. The department. Guebre. Now, if you watched my video that I put out a short while ago, which some people have watched, you'll notice that I point out that there are young guns in the DA who are ambitious. And quite frankly, when I say that, that's hardly a criticism. If you have a political party and you don't have young people who are ambitious, then what is the point of having people in your party? You want ambitious people in your party. However, is the ambition playing a role in discrediting John Steenhuisen? I think that it is. Jeff Bland comes with the opening line of the old anthem and part of the current anthem. Uit die blauw van onze Himmel, uit die diepte van ons zee. Yep. The blue from our sky, our clouds, our sky, and the depth of our C's. All right. Brett says Kamala Harris needs to read a book. Yes, she does. She does. Pablo says we need recolonization by the British Empire. I don't know. There is no British Empire. The Britain is run by illegal immigrants now. It's run by migrants. Look at who their prime ministers have been. People that came there. They're not English. They're not Scottish. They're not Welsh. They're people who've come there. A 12-year-old girl has died after hijackers drove over her when she hid under her mother's car. Embassy Church has asked for prayers for the Durban family of an 11-year-old girl who was killed when a takeout meal turned into a tragedy Wednesday during a hijacking. According to police sources, with deep sadness that we released the news of the death of 11-year-old Zara Ramase, daughter of Barnes and Shida. She was killed in a carjacking in Malvern. Please uphold this precious family in prayer. According to police source, the two children were sitting in the family Fortuner while their mother and grandmother, who were standing at the entrance of McDonald's not far away, were accosted by 4 armed gunmen. The men demanded the keys from the mother while both children, realizing what was happening, got out of the Fortuner. The 11-year-old girl hid under the car while her brother ran away. Suspects jumped in the vehicle and while driving away ran over her. She was rushed to hospital and succumbed to her injuries. Murder at McDonald's. Murder at McDonald's. What the hell is that? A family can't even go to McDonald's and buy food without being accosted? This 11-year-old girl's life is gone. What a horrific tragedy. And what about her brother? Now, he must feel very guilty running away without his sister. My goodness. Unbelievable. This is South Africa under the ANC and the government of national unity. Caroline says, Chris, ik denk dit is tijd dat je weer onder de kap komt. Oh, Caroline, it's very kind of you. Well, can somebody give me a lovely house in Gordons Bay or Somerset West? I'm leaning more to Gordons Bay, although I don't like being on the water. I like being away from water in case the glaciers melt. The rising sea levels that we've been warned about. Global warming. I don't want to be that close. I want to get closer into the hills. Yeah. Besides, if I came to Somerset West, I could do beekeeping. Yep. Brett says, I got silenced in Mississippi for saying this. Many whites want to think it is because blacks started running Africa, and many blacks say I'm being racist. Well, that's because they're just bigots and uninformed. You are welcome to criticize people. It's just people's stupidity. Angola's diamond production is dropping, folks, because of synthetic ones. Yeah, they're making artificial diamonds and it's crushing the natural diamond market. Angola saw a big drop in both diamonds mined and the price of stones it sold in the first half of 2024. It blames that partly on synthetic diamonds driving prices down. Angola sold 3.18 million carats for a total of 11.5 billion rand, about $500 million. More than 86% of the sales went to the UAE and most of the rest went to Belgium. The Angolan diamond mining company is Ndiama, and they're worried the trend could continue with prices between 30 and 50% lower than anticipated. Well, they'll just get money from the Chinese in Angola, so it won't really hurt them. The first doses of the monkeypox vaccine from those evil white people in the United States has arrived in the Congo. Those evil white people, at it again, man, giving away vaccines. Fresh doses of monkeypox vaccine from the United States arrived in the Congo. Authorities in Congo say that 50,000 doses of monkeypox vaccine from the U.S. arrived Tuesday, a week after the first batch arrived from the EU. Adults in Equateur, South Kivu, and Sankuru, the 3 most affected regions, will be vaccinated first starting October 2nd. Why are we waiting October 2nd? Why don't we do it now? 50,000 doses from the U.S. will be the same Genoa's vaccine. 250,000 doses are a fraction of the 3 million doses authorities said they need to end the monkeypox outbreak. Ooh, monkeypox. Jeff Bland has given another super chat in Australian dollars, $10. He said, the president of the free world, Mr. Donald Trump. Well, one can hope. His debate performance was underwhelming. It was an unfair platform, but he should have known that. He should have been ready to hit the softballs out of the park when she laid it up and teed it up for him. But he didn't. But it didn't move the needle. Trump is in the same position he was before. Many actually undecideds and independents have now actually moved to Trump. So we'll see what happens. Floods in northeastern Nigeria affect 1 million people. A dam burst, the same dam that burst decades ago. What the hell is going on in Nigeria? Cannot build a proper dam. But before anybody criticizes me, yes, we had an earthen dam here in Pennsylvania, Johnstown, over 100 years ago that broke and killed a lot of people. So stupidity is not simply in Africa. It's worldwide. The collapse of a major dam in Borno has caused the state's worst flooding in decades and forced residents to flee their homes. And there's Jeff Bland's super chat. Thank you for that, Jeff. Very kind of you, man. That's 3 of them. Everyone should be able, I think you're trying to outdo Brett Sessoms there. Well done. In fact, let me take a look at that and see something very quickly here. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. This is the best, at the moment, the best super chat day we've had in a while. Thank you for that. Yep. What have I missed over here? Did I miss something in the chat? No, I didn't miss anything. Well, Sinette said, lost faith in John Cena. I cannot believe that he turfed Roman, and what the F is happening to Ronaldo. Both awesome gents. Well, Sinette, we are waiting for a result on the Ronaldo investigation by the Democratic Alliance. If they throw him under the bus, they are going to pay a heavy price. Not because Ronaldo's popular, but because fair-minded people who looked at the video and understand what's going on will see the cowardice of the Democratic Alliance. Now, if they retain him, they're going to get a lot of flack for that. So get ready for that. Either way, it's going to be controversial what the DA does. But notice one thing in all of this. There are no charges laid against him by Parliament. He has not been sanctioned by Parliament. By the same token, he's not been charged with a crime, although he's being sued by the captured South African Human Rights Commission, which is trying to take him to court, which is expensive. By the way, how is that thing going? I wonder. Let's take that. So, Teeny's membership for 11 months. Buy a donkey for your membership. Let me look and see if I have that link still. Let me see if I have that link. I want to get that link to Ronaldo's fundraiser, the one that's not, back a buddy cowards, but an actual one. I think I have it here somewhere. I'm looking to see if I've got it. Boy, I thought I had that link handy, but I don't. I wonder if I could find it again. Maybe if somebody sent it to me, or if one of my mods has the link to that sorry, what's it called? The site that Ronaldo's doing a fundraiser. I want to mention that. I mentioned a lot when it happened, but boy, I'm going back here and I cannot find that link. I thought I had it here. Shame on me. I didn't bookmark it. If anybody's got the link to Ronaldo's thing, put it up for me. So, yeah, if I find that or someone sends to me, I'll put up. Chris, I have a garden cottage you can stay in Hout Bay. Michael, I will take you up on that. Michael, I will take you up on that. Send me an email. I'm trying to figure out when I'm coming back to South Africa. I wanted to come back for the rugby that's taking place in a few weeks, but I mean, I'm scraping pennies together and paying bills, and so I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that. But and also to be there for the last Springboks Rugby Championship Test match in Nelspruit. But I would take you up in Hout Bay. I was in Hout Bay for the first time in 24 years, or 23 or something like that, when I was there on the last trip. I went through Hout Bay. So yeah, I will take you up on that. It's a beautiful place, beautiful spot. I stopped at the coffee shop when you come down. You're coming from south to north, around the bay. When you first come into town, on the right-hand side, there's a coffee shop right there. I stopped there and sent some emails because I had Wi-Fi and had a coffee. Cottage, that's interesting. Thank you for that, Michael. I look forward to that. That'd be beautiful. Might spend more than a day there then if there's a cottage available to me. Yep. Charmaine says, here in South Africa last year, the stupid women refused to open the sluice because no white men will tell her what to do. The Vaal River flooded and people lost their livelihoods. Well, that's crazy. I didn't know that story. If you could live here permanently, where would you want to live? In South Africa, Anna Banana? I've made that quite clear. I'm very fond of Pretoria, but it would be Somerset West. And now I'm trending, after spending some time with Sean and his partner, Ilsa, I'm trending towards Gordons Bay, if I actually live there. But I don't live there. I live here in Pennsylvania. That's where my cross is to bear. So anyway. All right, so what else have I missed here? In 1992 was ons, dat is Kinder in die klas, ek was die engste dokter Tussenhuller. My son was een matricular. Okay, Esther's talking about her experience in school there. All right, there's Hendo. I wonder where Hendo's been at. If he'd sent it to me. Yeah. Anyway, if somebody's got the fundraiser link for Ronaldo, please send it to me and I'll put it up because there's a lot of people here maybe might want to help him out. Jeff Bland has given another super chat. Thank you, brother. That is really awesome. That's sweet. I watched Morning Shot for years. Rahman just wants to save my place of birth. Stand tall, all South Africans. Well, there you go, Jeff. There you go. Loudy Monday. Hi, Charles, from 9 degrees Tuesday to 30. Yeah, that is some pretty crazy weather swings, folks. But I've seen greater ones. I've seen greater ones than that. None of my comments being read, no equal treatment. Oh my goodness, Pablo Charlie. I read 7 of your comments in the first 5 minutes, and now you're moaning that I'm not reading them. They're not here. You haven't had a comment come up in... Your last comment was 12:47. That is 7 minutes ago. And then you're going to bellyache that I'm not reading them? Come on. Stop being juvenile. All right. Can we get some more likes? Got 95. We haven't quite gotten to the top yet. There's Jeff Bland. Super chat. Thank you for that, Jeff. $10. There's Pablo Charlie. Maybe the comments get read if you super chat. Well, listen, Pablo Charlie, if you want to super chat, you'll definitely get your comments read. That's the whole concept behind a super chat. It's the whole concept. Charles, me. That's right. All right. So there's a lot of people in the chat, and I'm recognizing lots of people's comments. All right. Let's see if we got more comments on that video. Up 72 comments now. Let me take a look on that Roman Steenhuisen video. DA leaders like John is the reason I will not vote for them. They're cowards. They've never had any firm policies or backbone to stand up for the voters themselves, especially John Steenhuisen. He's a little boat in the wind running from every fart coming his way. That was a comment someone made. Personally, I believe the GNU was the only solution for a complex political landscape. My faith in it, rather be prudent and wait for the facts regarding the issue of Roman. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. All right, if this is true, John Steenhuisen missed a golden opportunity to boost his credibility. He would have shot himself in the foot and would certainly lose a bit of support. I certainly hope it's not true. If Steenhuisen does this, I will never vote DA again. Look at that, folks. I've been following you for some time now. I know you're a fair and knowledgeable man. Can you talk about what's happening in Hartbeesport? Kogothatso Moloto, thank you for that. If you're watching this video right now, Kogothatso, I apologize if I mispronounced your name, but it's all just run together here, Moloto. So Moloto, I did talk about Hartbeesport the other day. I saw stories that were reported by the Independent Online, and they're talking about how black businesses were targeted by racist white Afrikaans speakers. So I delved into that topic. I actually know someone on the ground who lives nearby, and I asked them to go check into it. They contacted the police station for SAPS in Hartbeesport, also spoke to some counselors there and some residents, and there appears, in their view, to be nothing to this. Now, I don't know that to be the case. Next time I'm in Pretoria, I will make an intentional effort to go out to Hartbeesport. I've been there before, but the stench of the reservoir is difficult to overcome, and the filth there. But I've stayed in a lodge near just before you get to Hartbeesport, coming up from the cradle of mankind. Of humankind. So I will check it out. But what I can see is the first off, the allegations that were made in the story. There was a place that burned to the ground, but it's suspicious, the description of things and how it's done. So I don't know what's going on there. I do know that there are allegations by black business owners that they're being targeted and trying to chase out. The odd thing is that who could chase them out? The land doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to the white Afrikaners. It does belong to the power company or the water company there. So anyway, very strange situation there, but I've been looking into it. I've mentioned this before. I discussed this on air a few days ago. So I'm just putting a note here for the gentleman so he knows that I'm not ignoring him in case he's not here. I don't know that he's listening right now. But yeah, I'm still looking into Hartbeesport. I'm still looking into Grahamstown, Makana. I'm researching several articles right now and trying to set up interviews with people who are on the ground. So some of these stories I can't just run with immediately because I'm trying to get more depth and understanding, and that's one of them. But I have looked at the Hartbeesport Dam, and I'm probably one of the only alternative media people that actually discussed Hartbeesport. So we'll see what happens. There are a bunch of empty tins. They're all useful for his noise. There's noises in empty tins, says one person. Weird decision to appoint Roman in the first place. No sympathy for DA, but feel for Roman. He's been used and abused. Unless their plan was always to do a hit job, Roman, the ANC and DA are in the same, says someone. John isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. Following the Ronaldo issue, it was so predictable that hiring Roman would cause another frenzy. Yeah, spot. Well, that's LMC. He got that right. Cowardice for sure. There's no politician with integrity. Well, there's some politicians with integrity. The quality of politicians is a reflection of the society elects them. Spot on. That's probably the smartest thing I've heard anyone say, Comanche Flyer. Politics is not for people. It's for this self-interest. Well, that's what I said. And I said that, people shouldn't be in politics for self-aggrandizement, self-enrichment, or craving political power. But that's what many of them are in there for. Beth Frazier gave me a $10 super chat on that video. Wow, Beth, thank you for that. That is awesome. That is awesome. So cool. Spot on, the DA will remain an also-ran party, whereas they should be an integral part of the GNU. Yep. Anyway, there you go. That's an update on the comments for that one, folks. They're coming in fast and furious. 72. I'm going to refresh the page. And 7 more came in while I was just doing that. People want to comment on this video, and that's awesome. It is skyrocketing now. It's at 2,900 views in just an hour, and only a handful of new subscribers. So mostly people that know me are already watching it. Hopefully other people discover it. So, all right. Hey, that's just one man's opinion. What's one man's opinion, Pablo? Marty, welcome to Cabello. Hey, afternoon. Charles Van Alton, the voice of reason. I don't see Paulie here. I've not heard anything about Heartbeat Sport except here. Yeah, thank you, Charles. I'm the only commenter. I mean, it hasn't even been reported by SABC to my knowledge. Well, no, SABC did one video if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Chris Borman, thank you for your subscription. Bye Donkey. Jeff Bland is coming again with another super chat. Dude, you're going to become our sponsor for this channel. Jeff Bland says, may I ask all the viewers, why have the British never been held accountable for the genocide of 30,000 more Boers during the war? Well, it's a fair question. It is a very fair question. At the same time, one could ask why the Zulu have never been held accountable for the Mfikane. It's impossible to hold them accountable. It's impossible to hold the British accountable. It is ironic that the Herero are demanding reparations for a genocidal campaign in a war that they started, and the Nama as well, when the Brits committed an egregious act against the Boers just a couple years before that. And it was actually the model for what the Germans did. There's Jeff Bland's 4th super chat. Thank you for that. Look, Brett, he's outdone you, brother. He's outdone you. Anna says, my mom told me to stop impersonating a flamingo. I had to put my foot down. Okay. Well, Pablo Charlie, you're late to the channel. Those are nicknames. Charles Van Olsen was nicknamed by me a long time ago, the voice of reason. And Paulie claimed to be the brains behind the operation. So we let him have that title. All right, back to the news, folks. Flooding in northeastern Nigeria, 1 million people. That's crazy. Collapse of a major dam in Borno has caused the state's worst flooding in decades. And the same dam collapsed. The collapse of the Alu Dam on the Ngada River in Borno State caused some of the worst flooding. And there's Arnold Muscat is just subscribed. Thank you for that, Arnold. Appreciate that. Appreciate your subscription. Bye, donkey. Calibor. The dam collapsed on Tuesday, so the worst flooding since the same dam collapsed 30 years ago and prompting citizens to flee their homes. This is horrific, folks. Absolutely horrific. We're being told about climate change and global warming. How about poor infrastructure and bad engineering? That's probably a real issue here. Well, the United States Africa Command commander from the Marine Corps says that Somalia will be okay. Sorry, General Lagley. I don't buy it. Oh my goodness. U.S. Africa Commander's support for Somalia and works as the country readies for the withdrawal of the African Union mission in Somalia, the AMISOM mission. U.S. Marine Corps General who commands U.S. Forces Africa says stability and support programs for Somalia are in the works as the country prepares for the withdrawal of African Union troops in December. General Michael Langley, head of Africa Command, says that after his meeting this week with Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, and his top general, Major General Ibrahim Sheikh Muhyiddin Ado, he's confident the country can manage its own security after the December withdrawal of the African Union transitional mission in Somalia, ATMIS, which replaced AMISOM. AMISOM's gone. ATMIS is there. Ladies and gentlemen, Somalia will not be fine. They're going to be in trouble. So the general can delude himself all he wants. We can pour tens of millions of dollars into defending Somalia, waste American treasure there, but it's not going to change because the Somalis won't change. And they bring their shit with them when they come to Minneapolis. Look at the divisive member of Congress, Ilhan Omar. Go back. The United States is giving $320 million in military aid to Egypt in the midst of the Gaza campaign. Wow. The Biden regime on Wednesday notified Congress it was releasing $320 million in military aid to Egypt, conditions on the country's human rights record, which is abysmal, in a signal of Cairo's increasing importance to the U.S. approach to the war in Gaza. The decision includes a release of $95 million that requires certification by Secretary of State Anthony Blinken that Egypt has made progress on its record of political prisoners and other rights. And, of course, what they'll do is simply wink, wink, and nod, and they will give them the $320 million. They will not hold them accountable for the human rights violations because it's not in our best interest. What's this? Many black people? What's this? Oh, yeah, a lot of blacks. See, that's the thing. There's probably 60 to 80,000 black South Africans who died in those concentration camps as well, in addition to the 30,000 women and children and elderly Boers. These were people who worked on the Boer farms, the people who worked with the Boers, cattle herders who were rounded up, people who supported the Boers because they were part of that society, and the British made them pay as well. Probably 80,000 at least died in those camps on top of the 30,000. It was horrific, absolutely horrific. Jeff Blaine comes with another super chat saying, yes, Charles, I agree with you, but 30,000 or more women and children in concentration camps were not the Germans held responsible. Why not the British? Well, the Germans were not held responsible for German Southwest Africa. They're trying to hold them responsible now. People who have nothing to do with it. I mean, none of these people have anything to do with it. The German imperial government is gone. Disappeared in 1918. Boom, gone. Nothing to do with it. But they're trying to make Germans today pay for what people did 120 years ago. So Germany was never held accountable. Germany has been held accountable for the Second World War with the loss of 1/3 of German territory, the murder of 4 million Germans, the expulsion of Germans from historic territories they lived in for 1,000 years in Preußen, Schlesien, Pommern, Sudetenland. Yeah, also those who were kicked out of Yugoslavia. And there's Jeff Bland's 5th super chat. Thank you, Jeff. That's awesome. Yeah, so there you go. It doesn't matter how long I've been here. It matters if I support it or not. I'm a Colonel Wyatt supporter, even though it's not appreciated. Stop. Where do you get you're not appreciated, man? I read more of your comments than almost anyone else. Egypt is just another transfer of data military hardware to... no, it's not, Mike. I don't think so. This is a purchase of new equipment. We're not... There's no transfer from the U.S. We're selling Egypt military equipment. It's new equipment. We're not giving them old equipment. This isn't excess defense articles, EDA. EDA is when you get rid of old stuff. We did that years ago with other companies. We're not doing. They're buying stuff. Germans are responsible for the Holocaust, not for German South. Yeah, Charles just repeated what I said. Yep. Also, the Germans paid billions of dollars every year to Israel for decades in recompense to help them survive. Yep. Charles says, go Pilchers. Are we talking about the weekend already at Loftus? Yeah. All right, so back to it. Yeah, so Jeff, they weren't held accountable. Western firms that once flooded into China are now pulling back. Yep, the Chinese firms or American firms and Japanese firms and others are leaving. As China's growth slows and difficulty of doing business there rises, Western companies have stopped plowing money into the country. Well, it's long overdue. There's Walmart in Nanjing, the rape of Nanking. Many global businesses pushing China down their list of investment destinations, consolidating operations in the country, citing slower growth and diminishing profits. The gloomy investment trend was the focus of twin reports this week from the European Union Chamber of Commerce. The risk of doing business in China has gone up in the past years, and at the same time, the market is slowing down. 100%. And I've told people this for ages. The business community is finally waking up. The Philippines stands its ground against Chinese aggression and bullying in the South China Sea. Philippines will stand firm on the Sabina Shoal. Look at this. Chinese Coast Guard cutter ramming a Philippine Coast Guard vessel. Look at that. Unbelievable. And there's the criminals right there, 5205. This is reckless conduct. And there's another Chinese ship behind it. You can see it in the distance. The Philippines will stick to its position on Sabina Shoal, even while exploring ways to ease tension in the area during the frank and candid talks with the Chinese communists on managing disputes in the key waterway in the South China Sea. During Wednesday's meeting with officials in Beijing, China vowed to firmly uphold its sovereignty and reiterated demand for the immediate withdrawal of Philippine Coast Guard. And I reaffirmed that the South China Sea is not Chinese waters. Get the frick out. You don't own it. It's international waters. Piss off, you communist. Well, Turkish President Erdogan, dictator for life, says that Russia must return Crimea. Is he smoking? Is he chewing cot? Is he smoking dacha? Is he doing mandrax? What the heck is Erdogan on? Russia will never return the Crimea. The only way the Crimea returns Ukrainian control is with a Ukrainian victory militarily there. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Okay. Yeah, I think it was just taken out. Yeah, Pablo, you're about to get spanked because you're being divisive in the chat. Stop being divisive. So, Turkey's Erdogan says Russia must return Crimea to Ukraine. Turkish President Erdogan, who in the past has been called a dear friend by Vladimir Putin, dealt a blow to Russian leader when he advocated the return of the annexed Crimea to Ukraine. Our support for Ukraine's territorial integrity, sovereignty, and independence is unwavering. Turkey, a NATO member since 1952, stands up to Russia. That's an odd situation. They are fellow travelers. I'm surprised to see that. Well, Russia proves that they're a fascist state once again by putting on trial the lawyers who defended Navalny, the opposition leader who was died in prison. We'll put it that way. John Jarvis giving a super chat. I haven't seen it come up yet. It says, seems like you're having an epic super chat day, so I might as well join in. Well, thank you for that, John. It's a lot of super chats, but it's not an epic day. I have made one day as much as $850 on the super chat. It was a unique day. We're nowhere near that today. About a tenth of that. But I made $850 one day in the super chats, but that included a $500 super chat from somebody in the mining industry who's I haven't seen in a long time. I miss his super chats. Yeah, anyway, but thank you for that, John. I'm waiting for it to come up so I can give the bell. Anyway, so let's see if we've gained any subscribers here. We gained a few subscribers. That video from about Roman, is trending right now. So, yeah, let me take a look and see if we've got more. Before I go back to the news, more comments. It was 80 comments last time I looked, and I didn't see the last few. So now we're up to 89 comments. There it is. I think that's a super chat from John Jarvis. Thank you, John. Yeah. So, all right, let's get back to. Let's get to the comments here on that. 89 comments now. Cowardice. Very disappointing. I get the feeling the DA is out of touch with their voters, says one person. If ANC members must resign for corruption, there would not be one left, says another person. ANC would never get rid of leaders that are controversial. That's true. Absolute cop-out by John, says Debbie. Is this how you support your employees? You invited them to join, feeble and spineless. How can we trust you to help save our country if you crumble to media vomit? Ooh, Debbie, that's well stated. Hank says, all the crybabies who lash out DA, what would you prefer? ANC, EFF? If it was the first choice, we'd all have been in very deep, brown, smelly stuff by now. That's true. Definitely not on the payroll as Steenhuisen is. Ooh, DA leaders like, okay, so I read those already. Wow, how are we doing on views? Let me see. We were at 2,900 last time I looked. And now it's at 3,400 since I last referenced it. Thank you all for whoever's watching that. It's getting some attention right now. I think it's a very good video in my view, very balanced. Not everybody will agree, but that's fine. We can disagree. What else we got here? I was wondering why the Frisbee kept getting bigger and bigger, but then it hit me. Because you were staring at it. James says the DA corrupt. Are these ABC moderators? Papa Charlie. Are my moderators ABC moderators? Oh, stop playing the victim. ANC, EFF, MK sounds better than spineless, useless DA begging at the DA's feet. Woo, says Arctic. Excuse me. Folks, I'm enjoying this broadcast today. It's not simply a task today. It's enjoyable. Thank you for being here. The super chats aren't the reason I got to smile, but they definitely have helped. Russia puts the late opposition leader Alexei Navalny's lawyers on trial. Vadim Kobzev, Igor Segurin, Alexei Lipster face 6 years in prison over extremism charges. Seriously? Wow, they're in a metal cage at a district court east of Moscow before Judge Julia Shilova granted the prosecution's request to move them behind closed doors. Wow, they face a maximum of 6 years in prison, were arrested in October last year and have been in pretrial detention. They've been in prison since October, almost a year. In November, they added to Russia's list of terrorists and extremists. Wow. They're terrorists because they defended someone. That's their job as an attorney. This is a banana republic, Russia. Alberto Fujimori, once upon a time the very successful president of Peru, one of the class of Japanese immigrants into Peru in the late 19th century, the descendant of them, Alberto Fujimori became the president and had a big impact on destroying Sendero Luminoso, the shining path. But he was later convicted, and he has now passed away at the age of 86. His 1990s government defeated Maoist rebels and revived a battered economy, but descended into authoritarianism and corruption before collapsing. He has passed away at the age of 86. Alberto Fujimori, the former Peruvian president whose 1990s era government crushed the Maoist shining path and revived a battered economy, died at the age of 86. His daughter, Keiko Fujimori, said he died at her home in Lima of complications from cancer. He was a little-known academic, and he came to power during one of the most tumultuous periods in Peru's history. His supporters credited him with bringing peace and economic prosperity to a once chaotic and violent country. But in 2009, nearly a decade after he left the presidency, Peruvian courts convicted him and his spy chief on charges of human rights violations and corruption. The Peru I inherited was a disaster, he said. I had to govern from hell. The son of Japanese immigrants entered national politics in 1990 as a dark horse candidate. Yep. He had a master's degree in mathematics from the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. Wow. He faced down the shining path, which had expanded from the Andean countryside to the capital. The group hit the city hard with a bombing campaign. The 1992 capture of Abimael Guzman, the shining path's Masonic leader, effectively crippled the group. Now, Guzman died 3 years ago on September 11th, also at the age of 86. He suspended the Constitution in 1992, and so they went after him. And they got him. Alberto Fujimori, an historic figure from Peru, has passed away. Jeff Bland, your comments are here. Yeah, they're coming in. I see that. And you told John Jarvis, great job. Okay. All right. I guess because he gave the super chat. You and Brett got it started, and Jeff Bland kept it going. John Jarvis capped it off. And it looks like the super chats have died now. Former CIA officer is accused of being a Chinese spy and gets a 10-year prison sentence. Oh, say it ain't so. Let's see. John Smith, Steve Davison, Mark Johnson. No, it wasn't one of those Anglo-Saxons. Gee, who could have seen this coming? Former officer received cash, golf clubs, and other expensive gifts for turning over classified national defense information to Chinese agents. Alexander Yuk Ching Ma, 71, a naturalized U.S. citizen born in Hong Kong, was arrested back in August of 2020. In May this year, he pled guilty to conspiring to gather and deliver national defense information to China in exchange for a 10-year sentence. Frankly, I think he deserves the death penalty, but that's just me. That's just me. Death penalty for traitors. Despite his sworn oath to protect U.S. classified secrets from illegal disclosure, Alexander Ma chose to betray his oath for money while aiding the People's Republic of China, said U.S. Attorney for District of Hawaii, Claire Connors. Bringing Alexander Ma to justice, even after the passage of many years, affirms our commitment to holding accountable those who violate our nation's trust and security. He moved to Honolulu in 1968 and became a U.S. citizen in 75. Worked for the CIA from 82 to 89. Yeah. His older brother, identified in the plea agreement as a co-conspirator, worked for the CIA from 67 to 83. Why in the hell is the CIA giving national secrets to naturalized Chinese? Oh, that's going to sound xenophobic, isn't it? But look at all the spy cases. Every one of the people in the past year that we've identified who've been spying for China have been ethnic Chinese nationals of origin. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, Tropical Storm Francine is whipping America's coast. The Mercant 100 says, I will never in the future even think of backing DA. Yep. Francine unleashes flooding rainfall and knocks out power as it drives deeper into the south. Serious flooding threat from weakening Francine. And the emergency waters and rescues take place in Louisiana. This is a bystander rushing in to help a man stuck in a truck, and the water is up to their chest. It's difficult to see in that photograph, but wow, that's a lot of rain. Tropical Storm Francine. Well, Trump's bogus D.C. trial has been postponed to at least 2026. Donald Trump's trial in Washington charge of federal election obstruction may not begin until 2026 or later because of complex legal factual issues that may ultimately be decided by the Supreme Court, according to legal experts. Never mind the fact that it's a bullshit case. There's no truth to it. Well, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, a rhino, has said that there's no truth that Haitian migrants are a problem in Springfield, Ohio, a city of 60,000 residents with 15 to 20,000 illegal Haitian criminal invaders. Now, I submit to you that if someone dumped 1/4 of your population in your midst overnight or over the course of 2 or 3 years, it might have impact on the culture, the language, the mores, the norms, and the economic prospects of your town. But Ohio denies this. The rhino, Republican name only, scumbag Governor Mike DeWine, who I shamefully voted for a few years ago when I was an Ohio resident, didn't realize he was a rhino this badly, said that there's nothing going on in Springfield. Yet today, Ohio is sending state troopers and millions of dollars to Springfield over the Haitian influx. The federal government simply has not been as to be part of the solution, says Governor Mike DeWine, a turncoat Republican. Ohio governor says he's sending law enforcement officials and millions of dollars in healthcare resources to Springfield. after a national spotlight on Haitian illegal immigrants. Mike DeWine, a fake Republican, said he doesn't oppose a temporary protected status program under which 15,000 Haitians have arrived in the city of 59,000 since 2020. So he supports the invasion of America. Mike DeWine must be impeached. The Republicans in the Ohio Senate must begin an impeachment process against Mike DeWine for supporting criminal activity. Yep. Well, anatomy of a racist smear. The Washington Post is all over this. When they find something they think is racist, they're all over it. Now, there's a lot of truth to the story. We're going to talk about racism a lot here in the last portion of the news. Let me just quickly run back and see what's going on here. 109 people here. A lot of people left because I stopped talking about Roman. We'll get back to Roman. History has shown that coalitions are always detrimental to the smaller party. Hence, the ANC invited as many as they could. Exactly. Delay cases just to play more games and extend the harassment. Well, yeah, but they can't do anything when he's in. They can't prosecute him when he's in office, so it doesn't really do anything. U.S. University is full of student spies, and yeah, they are. Yep. Jeff says, sorry, mate, but I safe place at the moment would prefer Cape Town, where I lived in Rondebosch. Went to Rondebosch High School. Jeff, I was at Rondebosch at the primary school. During the election, I visited the polling station there. I got some photographs of my experience there. Met up with the Cape Independence Party, and it was one of my dozen stops or so during Election Day on May 29th, 5 of which were in Kailicha. One was in Somerset West, Sea Point, Rondebosch, Tableview, and Parklands, among others. All right, so never knew that Haitians had more courses than the Chinese, huh? Anyway. Yeah, but thank you, Jeff, for all the super chats and for jumping in here. So let's take a look at that video and see how it's doing. We see any more comments coming that might be interesting. Boy, I've got the tinnitus is really ringing my ears today, or there's a noise here, one of the two. Not sure which. We are at comments now at 96. I've got 7 dislikes on that video now. Wow. Neither cowardice nor prudence. It was an unwise appointment from the beginning. Steenhuisen should show some balls and stand behind his people. Disgusting. We all know what mainstream media is like, self-serving liars. Well, Rahman, I did not like his attitude of Morning Shot and unsubscribed long ago. DA, what a disappointment. They think they can go woke after the election. Instead, the DA should have gone down on their knees and thanked their supporters, but they still think they're God's gift to South Africa. They should drop their attitude. I'm sure the next election they will be taken out. Ooh, wow. What the F? I just heard the news. John Cena doesn't ask him to step down. Ronaldo and Rahman need to get together and sue someone. I'm so confused. Gotcha. John Cena, please don't buckle under pressure. Keep Rahman on. I'll call it cowardice. DA must not give in to pressure. Daily Maverick is full of gossip. Well, people are commenting. And thank you for that. Really do appreciate it. Let's take a look at the trajectory of that video now. The video now is at, this is while I'm doing my live news broadcast. We're at 3,800 views. Cool. Thanks for that. And we got 10 subscribers from it. That's very kind of you all. I do appreciate that. Okay, so where are we at in the chat over here? Still have my distinction blazer, which I can wear with pride. Well, that's cool. Does it still fit? I discovered I'm a little trouble fitting in a few things recently. We're all the same race, the human race, like cars and trucks. We arrive with different spray jobs. That's an interesting way to say it. I haven't seen that before. Okay. Okay, what have I missed here? Trump times Pablo. I have no idea what Pablo's saying there. What's the X? All right. So, anatomy of a racist smear. Okay, how false claims of pet-eating immigrants caught on. How an anti-immigrant rumor spread from a random Facebook post to leadership of the Republican Party and the biggest influence in social media so quickly. Okay, that's true. It started with a tragedy, gained momentum online with neo-Nazis and became Donald Trump. Okay, because people shared it, it makes them a neo-Nazi. It may make them stupid, but it doesn't make them a neo-Nazi. Midwestern town grappling with the fallout from an influx of Haitian immigrants became a focal point for racist and xenophobic memes this week after Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, claimed Monday that in Springfield people had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. Now, J.D. Vance's statement is wrong. It's inappropriate. It was factually wrong. But expecting criminals who invade your town to be deported is not xenophobic. Not wanting Mexicans here is xenophobic. Not wanting Senegalese here because you don't want Senegalese around you is xenophobic. But not wanting criminals who illegally entered your country to come here is not xenophobic, Washington Post, you race-hustling smear merchant. Wow. The allegation is based on scattered social media posts, drawing on photos and stories from Springfield that spooled out over several days. The Haitian rumor is only the latest example of the Trump campaign stoking racial divides. Here we go again. It all started when 11-year-old Aiden Clark died in a bus accident when a Haitian immigrant driving without a license, who shouldn't have been there, not an immigrant, a criminal alien invader. Incident spurred residents to publicly air their grievances against the huge Haitian population invading their town. The Haitian influxes in a small town revitalized segments of local economy, according to residents. So what? At what cost? They're criminals. They don't belong there. It wasn't until the weekend that right-wing accounts, including replete with racial slurs, spread a baseless assertion that Haitian people who've been granted temporary protective status in the United States following profound unrest and violence in the city were abducting and consuming pets. They were illegally granted protective status because they violated our law. They don't get protective status. They don't belong in the country. Yeah, the origin of the claim seems to be a Facebook group called Springfield, Ohio Crime and Information. Anyway, so the city leaders in Springfield have said the town has roughly 15 to 20,000 Haitian immigrants in their community. After the claim began spreading, the newspaper carried an article, but it was carried on social media. And then Ian Miles Chung retweeted, and I retweeted his tweet but not because I thought it was something people need to read. But he did say something that was inappropriate. When he posted it, an ex-user responded by asking if drugs were involved in the eating of the cats. And he said, worse, Haitians. Now, the incident in which a woman was eating a cat wasn't from Springfield. It was from another town in Ohio, and she wasn't Haitian. She was mentally disturbed. Anyway, but whatever. So the anatomy of a racial smear and slur. Let me take the Washington Post story, which is factually correct. Although it's incorrect when it talks about criminal alien invaders. It doesn't call them what they are. But let me take that story and contrast it with another racist smear attack, and that's Tyreek Hill and his race hustling and smear against law enforcement officers. We saw the video. There was nothing to it except his misbehavior. Attorney for police officer involved in Tyreek Hill case speaks out. One of the police officers involved in the detainment of Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was placed on administrative duties Sunday while Miami-Dade Police Department investigates his actions. Why? Attorneys are calling the move premature and requesting that he be returned to his role. We call for our client's immediate reinstatement and a complete, thorough, and objective investigation, as Director Daniels has also advocated. Attorneys Ignacio Alvarez and Israel Reyes said in a news release, our client will not comment until this investigation concluded and the facts are fully revealed. Well, we saw the facts. The man was speeding, going over 60 apparently, according to police, in a construction zone, whizzing past people dangerously, driving, pulled over. 4 coppers pulled him over, and then he was abusive, unresponsive, disrespectful, and arrogant. And he got himself in trouble. The Daily Mail covers the story, saying Tyreek Hill cop dispute takes a shocking twist as police officer denies offering an apology after Tyreek Hill claimed that he rejected a sorry attempt. The fallout from Tyreek Hill's run-in with Miami-Dade police has taken a bizarre twist after a cop denied ever attempting to apologize. During a media conference on Wednesday, the wide receiver claimed that representatives for the officer at the center of the detainment had reached out to apologize. Hill was dragged from his car, pinned to the floor. It's the ground, not the floor, you Brits. And placed in handcuffs ahead of the Dolphins season opener. They already tried to apologize, but we declined, he said. It's up to everybody else's judgment to have their own opinion on how they feel about the video. Well, the fact that you've turned into a racial incident when people of color are the ones that arrested you just makes it obvious what's going on here. Reports claim that it was the lawyers for Danny Torres who contacted. Torres this week identified as a cop placed in administrative duty. But his representatives now contradicted, saying neither Officer Torres, his legal representatives, attorneys, or anyone speaking on his behalf has had any communications whatsoever with Mr. Hill. So Tyreek Hill has lied again. He lied about his conduct, he lied about the incident, and he lied about race. And now he's lying about an apology. So he's just a liar. Meanwhile, convicted sex offender Harvey Weinstein, who had his case overturned last year but remains in prison because he's convicted in California, will face another trial. Harvey Weinstein indicted on new charges after New York conviction overturned. The new charges come ahead of a retrial for Weinstein after a previous rape conviction collapsed last year. But he remains in jail, folks. He remains in jail because he was facing a 16-year sentence for a separate case in California where he's convicted in 2022 of rape, forced oral copulation, and sexual misconduct. Ouch. Me too. Yep, if they go after him. All right, there you go, folks. We got down around 100 people, 121 likes, some nice super chat money, but we haven't quite hit the triple digits. If anyone wants to throw a super chat in there, feel free to do it. She was very hungry to eat the cat. Poor woman. She had some mental issues, most likely, Robert. Slippery Pickle says, why did Rahman get sacked? No, he wasn't sacked. He has been asked to resign, and he would do well not to resign. There's no cause to sack Rahman. There's no basis for anything that's happening. This is simply a revenge-seeking media, and I think some ambitious people in the Democratic Alliance are trying to undermine John Steenhuisen. Anyway. Your friend, so nothing happens. Who would have thought? What are you talking about, Pablo Charlie? What are you talking about? Washington Post is a no-go propaganda rag. The child's death was a result of a federally funded NGO subcontractor placing a Haitian unlicensed driver-operated school bus. Yep, that's right. Thank you for the facts, Michael. That is correct. Haitians have no business in Springfield, Ohio whatsoever. None of them are legal migrants. They're criminal alien invaders. I don't give a crap if the Biden regime illegally gave them protected status. They don't belong here. Just like the Liberians who've been here now for 30 years. Go home. Go home. You keep moaning about Liberia. You keep trying to pervert our politics and our foreign policy and our foreign aid in D.C. by lobbying for money for Liberia. Take the wealth you've accrued here, go back to Liberia and fix it. Divette Martin says, one of the best ways we can fight this globalist agenda is by making money and having lots of babies. Spot on. Spot on. Jaya says, what are your thoughts on Eric Weinstein saying Trump is too long to be running a Piers Morgan? Too old? I don't know. I think what you're trying to say, Jaya, is what is my opinion that Trump will cognitively decline during his presidency? I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that. Jeff Bland says, Blazer is 60 years old. I'm 75 in the departure lounge waiting for my flight number, Jeff. Dude, live much longer. Live much longer. I've seen a video of Haiti people eating people's cats as part of their religion. I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Like lids that fit different pots. Mine was just in the panel beaters. The memes on Gav have been awesome. I didn't see any of those. What about eating cats? Oh, eating cats, man. That's something else. Who's insulting you, Pablo Charlie? Give me a name. I don't see any insults. Edna Furry, somewhere I read or heard that Americans bought up homes in Haiti because of political reasons, pushing up house prices. So Haitians can't afford to buy houses. That's nonsense, Edna. Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting it from? Americans buying houses in Haiti? No, Americans are not buying houses in Haiti. Diplomatic community buys houses, yes, but all diplomatic communities do that. The Haitians can build their own homes. They don't have to worry about people driving prices up. That's not a reason to invade. The reason to invade the USA is because their country's broken. Why? Because they're useless. Their work ethic is shit. Their skills are shit, and their country is shit. And that's why they come here. They have too many kids. They can't feed their kids. They can't take care of themselves. They have a shitty country that they continually destroy over and over again ever since they murdered 40,000 French. Yep. Yeah, too old. Yeah, no, JR. Yeah, he's not too old. Trump is still sharp, although the debate wasn't very good. Charles and Anna Banana are attacking Pablo. Charles, stop commenting with Pablo. Anna, stop commenting with Pablo. Just ignore him. Trump will not lose his personal momentum. He is not wavering. I agree. Someone call Handyman. He has a few screws loose. Okay, now Alan's going to attack Pablo. No, Pablo's just attention seeking. That's all. That's all. Just attention seeking. That's what it is, folks. Keep that in mind. Anyway, thank you. John Jarvis, your super chat is still up there, man. 350 Rand. It's still at the top of the screen. Wow. Yep, that was a while ago you did that. When did you do that? Does it tell me when you did it? It doesn't say the time. I'd have to go way back and find it. You did that super chat at 1:06. 25 minutes, it's sitting at the top of my queue. That's pretty impressive. But that's because it's numbers. It's numbers. If I do $350, they go there. But if I do $10, which is, if I do $20, which is 350 Rand, it will go away in about a minute. Okay, Charles doesn't see Pablo's comments, so he's talking rubbish. Yeah, that's what I thought you said. You blocked him. And it sounds like a kindergarten. That's correct. That sounds like a kindergarten. Anyway, let's go back to the Roman story here, folks. So John Steenhuisen now says it was a bad decision in retrospect. Well, what does that say about John Steenhuisen? I mean, how could you not see this coming? Honestly, folks, how could you not see this coming? Anybody could have seen this coming. Got 104 comments now and 7 dislikes. Got another dislike on it. John is weak as AF. This time around, I'm glad I never put my pen to paper in voting for the DA. How can you, for someone you don't trust, as politicians may come, politicians may go, but the lies stay the same. DA is a spineless party. That's 3 new comments have come in. Thank you, folks, for your comments. And we have eclipsed 4,000 views now, 4,200 on that, and 12 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. Thank you for that. Nice to see the subscriber base grow a little bit. It'd be nice if it grew a couple more thousand. Wow, remember we had 23,000 on the original channel, and we had 150,000 view videos all the time, 10 to 15,000 views every single day. Wow, 2,500 hours of content viewed every day. Now we hit that for about 4 or 5 days in a row here recently with my coverage of Ronaldo and then Roman, but it's been a long time since we had that. So we had some of that when I was in South Africa recently for the elections. It was pretty good. No money left, but this is free speech. Where can we agree to disagree? Well, Jeff, don't spend all your money here, man, but thank you for that, $5. Jeez, it's very kind of you. Yeah, it's free speech for the most part. For the most part. There's things I can't say on this platform. I can't discuss the events of 2020 in any detail or length or talk about the facts because it will result in a suspension by YouTube. I can't do fair use of copyrighted material because that'll result in a strike. You are not allowed to say certain things and they go after you. So it's a bit frustrating and it undermines free discourse, but we do pretty well here. We're able to say most things. Trevor does not like the deal, but a lot of people are not voting DA because of this John Steenhuisen thing. At least they say that right now. We'll see what happens when it comes up to the elections in 2026. Of course. Rugby's on Saturday. That's correct, Hendo. Rugby's on Saturday. We've got 2 games. We've got the first game, which is at Ellis Park, the Lions versus the Cheetahs. And then we've got the Bulls hosting the Sharks at Loftus-Versfeld. I'm predicting a Lions-Bulls final at Ellis Park. Maryland says go Lions. I kind of expected that in Maryland. Folks, it's haircut day. My plan is to leave here and go get a haircut and come back and get a shower. Jeff Bland, super chat of $5, and now Jeff is tapped out. He's destitute, unfortunately, somewhere in the outback. Sorry to hear that, man. 133 likes. That's pretty cool. Don't forget to shave the beard, Matthew. It's the combo fall of Ronaldo and Roman for the DA. Yeah, it is. Surprise, everyone. Sans beard. Yeah, no, that could be coming someday. I'm probably too chubby now to suck my face in. Is John expecting a Dear John letter from Roman? Yes, Jeff, the 2020 erection problem. That's correct. Can't do that. You get censored. The censorship on YouTube is eased up a bit, but it's still there. It's it's just things you're not allowed to talk about. They just don't let you talk about them. And you get spanked for it. Look, I get occasionally, they go through all my videos and like I got copyright claims for videos that are 4 years old on my other channel. I'm getting them now. From 2020, I'm getting copyright claims 4.5 years ago. It's utter nonsense. DA shot in the cells and foot. Yep. All right, that's it. Pablo, I warned you. You were continually, first off, I'll put you in a timeout for 1 minute and see if you learn that lesson from that. You're attacking my moderators, and moderators haven't done anything to you. So stop your horse shit. You're polluting the chat. I've warned you over and over again. Stop your woe is me, everyone's attacking me. It's because you're talking shit. Yes, people are piling on. All right, so you've got a minute timeout. When you come back, stop screaming that you're being attacked, okay? And the rest of you, knock it off. You're not helping. I'll start giving other people timeouts too. You know, it's like kindergarten. In the corner. Put your nose in the wall. So knock it off. He's the first one. We'll see who's next. We'll see who's next. Dare me. Challenge me. Say something about Pablo. And I'll give you a timeout. I'll give you a timeout. We're all, look, it's like romper room. I see Jimmy and Lisa and Timmy and and Maggie. Like romper room, man. I'll put you in a corner. We'll put you in a corner. That's how we'll end this stream today. As people start getting put in the corner. Pablo got a 1-minute timeout. If he comes back and he whines, he's going to get a 5-minute timeout. If anybody else says something about Pablo, you're going to get a timeout. It won't be. Oh, my goodness. Good Lord. We're talking about serious stuff here. People are acting like children. Charles. Charles is getting a timeout. Charles is getting a timeout. There you go. God bless it. Quit chatting. Put user in a timeout. Charles is getting a 1-minute timeout. I tell you what, Charles, that was cheeky. I'll give you a 10-second timeout. You can't chat for 10 seconds. All right. So Pablo's back. Charles just got a timeout. Who's next? Bring it on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Come on. Bring it on. Let me get somebody else, okay? You guys are killing me here, man. You're killing me. You're killing me. You're killing me. Oh, there it is. I found it. I found the link. Copy link. Okay, so let me take a look at that and see what's happening on Ronaldo's fundraiser. Finally found it. We chat a lot, Chris. Can't time out anybody as he can't click. Exactly. You're right. That's the problem, Arctic. I can't get anybody. Can't get you. I can't get you if you chat too fast. I just can't get to it. Because I right-click it. There's a link to Ronaldo if you got any money left there, Jeff, to support Ronaldo. There it is. There's a link. I can't right-click if you guys are too fast. Ooh, okay. Hang on a second. Oh, damn it. What's going on here? Pin message. There we go. Gus is too funny. That's corner's going to get very crowded, says Hendo. Alan wants to go to the corner. Okay, Alan. Alan wants to go to the corner, so we're going to put Alan in the corner. Alan, you've been put in the corner for 1 minute. If you have contact with Roman or Byron, please let them know that I'm willing to act on contingency for Roman as an advocate. Okay, Michael, but I don't know if they know who you are. You're going to have to send me an email. Or if you're on the WhatsApp group, send me a personal WhatsApp. But I will let them know. There's a part here in the corner. Charles, you're going back in the corner, man. You're going back in the corner. This time for a minute. You didn't learn your lesson. Put the user in timeout for 1 minute. Charles is in the corner. There's another super chat. That one from Leovan. He talks smack in the corner. Trump gets trampled the same week Shannon Sharp does porn. What? Shannon Sharp does porn? And Rome falls. It's been awful. DA will fold, says Ants. Probably. Me too. Oh, she took the message down before I got a chance to give her a timeout. I was going to give her a timeout. Gosh. All right, we hit triple digits on the super chat with that last one from Leovan. All right. Well, my haircut day, it was... Oh, Charmaine, you got put in the corner by Arctic. Arctic is doing my dirty work now. Now the mods are putting you in the corner. Look at my face, man. I'm turning red. See, I'm a person of color. Pink. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Arctic got them all. Woo! Boy, hey, Caroline, how's it going? Be careful what you say. Arctic will put you in the corner today. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. What can I say, folks? What can I say? All right, let me see if there's any more comments. It was 104 last time I looked. We've been going from like 60 up, checking on it. Up, hasn't changed. Bummer. People aren't commenting anymore. There are a lot of comments, folks. 4,500 views and 100 comments. That's a lot. Wow, and that video is still going. All right, well, please keep going on that video. Appreciate it. But anyway, so What do you got? Let me do a poll for the people who are here. We still have 90 people here. Let me do a poll. Start a poll. Okay. All right. So poll's up. Very good, folks. Definitely happy hour in that corner, sister Debbie. Yeah, I don't know what they're up to, man. We can't keep an eye on all of them in the corner. Mods are selling illegal cigarettes in the corner. Caroline says, I don't want to be cornered. Yeah, you don't want to be cornered. Oh, my goodness. Pablo Charlie's looking for attention again. All right. If that ABC woman was a moderator, she would. Yeah, well, I put her in timeout. I'm out of order. You're out of order. You want the truth. You can't handle the truth. No, Arctic doesn't tolerate idiots. In the cockpit, you can't tolerate morons. You know, people's lives are at risk when you're in the air. I mean, the whole concept of flying is not natural. That's for birds. Humans aren't supposed to fly. So Arctic is a pilot. He can't tolerate nonsense. He's the man in charge. When you're in the air, it's the captain. Doesn't matter if there's a general or an ambassador, the president in the back. The person in charge is the pilot. That's right. Pilot in command. That's who's in charge. So in the chat today, that's Arctic. Oh, Pablo, stop. Here you go again. You're going to get put back in the corner asking a dumb question like that. He put a bunch of people in the corner. All right? So stop it. Acting like you're being singled out. My goodness. Dude. Garrett says, Forgotten Weapons putting on a new book series, all on bond. What's this? Moderators are taking over. They are, Matthew. The moderators are taking over. Look, my moderator has been very generous and because of my rules and have not smacked anybody in a long time. And people getting smacked a little bit today. It's funny. But anyway, so the story today, the big story, two stories. Number one, in South Africa, that is, the BELA bill, the education bill, is due to be signed tomorrow by the president. And the Minister for Education, that is Siviwe Gwalrube, has said, well, I have no choice. I just have to implement it. Well, that's a betrayal of the DA's position on that bill. What will the DA do? Nothing. Will the DA stand up for it? No. Will the DA cave? Yes. They will cave on the BELA bill. They'll moan about it in the press, but they'll say, well, hey, what can we do? Meanwhile, it'll take civil society organizations like Solidarity or AfriForum or the Treatment Action Campaign, others like that, to raise this issue and take it to the courts, costing a lot of money. A lot of money. Anyway, so yeah, that's the BELA bill. The second issue, of course, is that John Steenhuisen says that it was in retrospect, it was a bad decision, a poor decision to hire Roman Cabanac. Again, I raised the question to John Steenhuisen, what criminal offense, what misappropriation, what action has Roman taken as the chief of staff that warrants firing? And I submit the answer is none. So it goes back to the point, why did you hire him in the first place? If you didn't think this was going to happen, then you're really not tuned into life in South Africa. And if you're that blind to what's going on in South Africa, then are you the right guy to lead an opposition political party? Oh, I didn't see that. Shannon Sharp went live on Instagram while having sex with someone. I didn't see that, Shadow Seer. Thanks for sharing that. Let me look that one up. I didn't know about that. Like, did that just come out? Yeah, look, I mean, wow. Let's see the news on this one. Shannon Sharp comes clean about viral Instagram sex tape. Disappointed myself. He says he won't face discipline from ESPN. So did he get fired or not? Shannon Sharp comes clean about the sultry Instagram live post he put out Wednesday. It's not an accident. He put it out there. Shows him engaging in sexual activity. The Pro Football Hall of Famer and ESPN personality admitted that his Instagram was not hacked, and in fact, himself and a woman engaged in sexual act that he accidentally beamed to his millions of followers. Obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and I have to have one of your most intimate details, the audio, heard from the entire world. I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. There are a lot of people who count Shannon Sharpe to be professional at all times and always try to be professional at all times, even when I'm behind closed doors. I'm very disappointed in myself. Not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people who are consenting adults engaged in activities, but for the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself and I let a lot of people down. Well, that's very contrite. That's very honest. So Wednesday afternoon, the video went live on Instagram of him engaging in sexual activity with an unknown female could be heard moaning. Oh my gosh. He initially claimed his Instagram account had been hacked in a post before he deleted the post. Okay, well then he shouldn't have lied. Threw the phone on my bed, engaged in activity. I did not know Instagram Live. I never turned on Instagram Live, so I don't know how it works. And all of a sudden, my other phone started going off. It was this marketing partner who was finally able to get through to alert him of the situation. Another person eventually ended the live stream. Explained. Here's a screen capture from it. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being a healthy, active male. Y'all thought I was bullying. Get it in. Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson did attest to Sharpe's lack of technological awareness, telling the audience that during the episode, the three-time Super Bowl champ has butt dialed him in the past without even realizing it. However, Johnson did attempt to show Sharpe grace. He couldn't help but prod him over Sharpe's chastising Johnson previously over his professionalism. I'm baffled. I never thought I'd see a day where you, would pull something out so out of character. It's a little unprofessional. I'm not mad. I'm thoroughly disappointed because I hold you to a higher standard. Oh my goodness, Shannon Sharpe. ESPN will not discipline him. Good news for Shannon Sharpe. The viral video of his Wednesday afternoon romp won't affect his day job, as TMZ Sports has learned that ESPN isn't going to discipline him. A source of the network tells us Sharpe's absence from Thursday's First Take had nothing to do with what went down on Instagram 24 hours earlier. He's usually off on Thursdays and Fridays. Sharpe, who's been with ESPN since 2023, has recently signed a contract extension to stay with the network, going back in June to continue debating Stephen Smith on First Take for foreseeable future. He chalked the issue up to being not tech savvy. He's not tech savvy. Oh, that's too funny. DA equals ANC, says Michael. Socialists who want to tell you what to think or say. There is exactly what and how I see it too, Chris. Poor vision on John part, which questions everything he's standing for. Exactly. Richard says the DA is going to lose votes to Freedom Front Plus. Yeah, it's going to go back. This time it swung back to the DA. It's going to swing back to Freedom Front Plus. But the Freedom Front Plus has got to make grounds with colored and black voters. They really do. Alcohol can be sold on school grounds. Really? That's terrible. Pablo Charlie says, I think it was a mistake in my mind leaving the DA. He's an asset, especially for a party like the DA. On that, we disagree. Michael sent me an email. Okay, cool beans, Michael. Thank you for that. Let me go ahead and pull it up right now so that I don't forget about it and I can send that to those guys. Email. Gmail. I hate Gmail. I don't see any email from you. Let me try my other Google account. You may have sent their Gmail, and then we'll switch accounts. Switch to that one, if you have the old one. Nothing from you there either. No email. I have lots of people offering me jobs. Jenny Johnson and Calk Davis. What's this? What is this? It's looking for Daniel St. James. I found your video. Very cool. What the heck is this? Which video did I do? Somebody sent me a message and wants a response. I don't even know the video they're talking about. Anyway, well, maybe it'll just show up later. It's not there yet. All right, so we got over 50 votes for the poll. We're going to end it there. All right, so the results of the poll. Yeah, why can't I see it? Oh, there it is. 84% say he shouldn't fire him. Musi Maimani deviated so far from DA policies that him being booted was inevitable. Exactly. He tried to be the ANC light. We are known as the watchdogs. The DA fear us, says Caroline. Okay. My bad on the firing bit. People were asking Disney to boot him. Yeah, no, Shadow's here. It's fine. I just looked. That's why. Thank you for the heads up. I didn't hear that Shannon Sharp was getting busy and sharing on Instagram. You got to be careful with your phones, folks. I mean, they can be turned on by people remotely, but you can also knock things on unintentionally. That's why I like to always try to screen lock mine so it doesn't happen. So there you go. See, nothing can happen. But we all make mistakes, and then you send pictures to people you don't mean to send pictures to, or you send messages. Just the other day, I called someone unintentionally. I realized it, and I hung up, but they saw that I tried to call them. I'm like, no, it was just a mistake. Sorry. I thought I was calling someone else. Necessary phase for the DA. You can imagine Moosey and CR running the GRU. Rob said the DA and ANC will be the future watch on business so that they can stop the MK and EFF in 2029. The EFF may not be around by 2029, and MK, if Jacob Zuma is still around, will be around. But if not, the MK will dissolve before then. So I wouldn't lose sleep over either of those parties. The MK party is gaining traction in KwaZulu-Natal. It has won a few by-elections in Northwestern, but nothing in the Western Cape, nothing in the Northern Cape, nothing in Limpopo. They're not going to win there or the Free State. And they will, unless they prove something, which they haven't done, they're not going to go anywhere. Oh, Michael, okay, I'm sorry. Did you have the other email address? I got you. Okay, did you have my proper email address? No, it's not there. Okay. Oh, I've got an email about combination. Oh, that okay. Got it. Sent to the wrong address. Yep, you sure did. Okay, got it. Thank you for that. Okay, appreciate it. Got it. Appreciate that. It's there now. Oh, you sent to both of them. Well, okay. It must have. It's in both accounts now. Oh no, that's the same one twice. Excuse me. It's the same email twice. All right. So yeah, I got it. Thank you for that. I'll send them a message. Okay. Cool beans. All right. Cool. Would take Harris off with a pinch of salt. His brother owns part of Rainbow Power. They're financially entrenched with politics. Pablo says, if the MK and EFF will dissolve, what parties will replace them? Well, that's a good question, Pablo. No one predicted the rise of MK. I did predict it wasn't public because I was in the intelligence community, but I did predict the emergence of the EFF. It seemed pretty clear to me that when Malema started running his mouth about Zuma, that he was going to be booted out of the ANC, and that enough people who were stupid and had money backed him that he would start a new party. So I predicted that one, but I didn't predict the rise of MK. I thought if it was going to happen, it would have happened sooner. Zuma never started a party sooner. So Tony Land seems to only care about Israel. I don't know about that, Jonathan. Tony Leon cared a lot about building the DA. He's the guy that got it started. Helen Zilla put on steroids, but he got it started, and he doesn't only care about Israel. That maybe you've just seen a recent op-ed from him, and you've taken that out of context. He was the ambassador to Argentina, and he cared a lot about developing economic ties for South Africa. I'm not a fan or opponent of Tony Leon, just stating the facts. He did an excellent op-ed recently. I have no idea what Pablo Charlie is trying to say. Wrong. Haven't you, Colonel, a video on Tony Leon? I did do a video on Tony Leon. What's your point? I don't understand your point. Yeah, I said Tony Leon calls out hypocrisy over Gaza. Yeah. So, September 4th. 8 days ago, I did a video on him. What's your point? Caroline has to go. Well, I think we all have to go here shortly, but we'll do one last look of what's going on over at the other videos. So, but I don't understand what he's going on about there. All right. So it was 104 comments. Let's see if anybody else has commented. 117 has jumped again. Okay, there you go. Wow, the NC always support their corrupt haters and never get fired. Leave John and Ramon alone. We the people asked the 6,000 foreign nationals employed by the government on national provincial level resign from their positions. Ooh, well, that's interesting. If Ramon leaves, it proves that Cape... Rando. DA's lost my vote already. I like what I see in Mackenzie, says this person. Surely this is fake news because they can't dismiss it without a valid reason. It's not fake news. I correctly reported see, people don't even watch the video. Or they would know that I said this in the video. I don't know. People don't watch the damn thing. She's like, this must be fake news. It's not fake news. I correctly reported that he asked Ramon to resign. Additionally, I said that he's a government employee. So, people don't even watch the video. They just see the headline and they comment. Vote Freedom Front Plus. Leave the leftist camp of the DA. John is weak. Okay, got that one all right. All right, so let's take a peek and see where that one's at on its rise. We're getting close to 5,000, almost 4,900. So slow it down a little bit. That's unfortunate. I wish it'd pick up again. And we've got Jeff Bland with another super chat. Sorry, Gant. Remember, it's not the length of life you had. It's the legacy behind. Bingo, Jeff Bland. It's what you do while you're on this planet. Did you make the world a better place? Did you treat others well? Did you leave a mark? Well, I've left a mark. I have a legacy, regardless of the outcome of my life and when I depart this big blue marble. I've left a mark on this planet, a positive mark. Made the world a better place in so many ways. HIV clinics, schools, clinics, hospitals, roads, peacekeeping, rule of law, hunting terrorists, and saving hundreds of thousands of people from starvation. Arctic, another one. No divorce till the beard and the bell are gone. Guess I'll never get any divorce from him then. Robert Franklin Moore. Chris, do you see the DA losing or gaining votes? At the moment, that's a tough prediction. Now, I was spot on with my ANC prediction, which I made in 2021, right after the election. I have not made any predictions for the municipal elections yet, but I will soon. I will soon make a prediction, and then you can hold me to it when we get around to 2026. As far as 2029, that is so far off, and so much can happen now. It's really tough to make the prediction. You just look really silly. But I do expect that the DA is going to be hard pressed to retain its vote total from 2024 in 2029. I really think they're going to find it challenging to keep that level, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, but I don't know what's going to happen there. But it's a tough one. But thank you for asking the question, Robert Franklin Moore. Yeah, it's a good question. What is Charmaine laughing about? Oh, divorce comes with age. That's good. I don't eat drumsticks. I'm a poultry bigot. I only eat the white meat. I only eat the breast. I'm a breast man. That's all I eat. Turkey, chicken. I only eat the breast. None of that other stuff. I want the breast. Nothing else. Only the breast, man. The ANC and the ANC will continue to lose votes. That's no doubt about that. The ANC has been mortally wounded as a consequence of their poor service delivery and load shedding. Load shedding may be over for the moment, but the memory lingers. They're going to have to adapt quickly and push Panyazi Lasufi out, or they're going to lose Haotang. Yeah, that's true. Our politicians take on more debt for our children to pay for the first night. Yeah, well, that's happening here. Shadow Seer says, what is your prediction for the U.S. elections, particularly the Senate and Congress? Okay, so I predict that the Republicans will retain the House of Representatives. I don't know if they'll gain or they'll hold their margin, but they will retain the House of Representatives, might gain a couple seats. And they are likely to break even, 50-50, or win 51-49 Senate. They're going to get the West Virginia seat. There's a couple other seats that they're going to get. They might lose a seat or two. So I think that they will win the House and Senate, regardless of what Trump does, even if Trump doesn't win. But I expect Trump to win based on what's going on in the 7 battleground states. As I've said before, the other states really don't matter. So here's my map. Let me put that up and show you this, guys. Here's my map of the election, okay? So this is ABC News Interactive Map, and based on this, my results, I've come up with 306 electoral votes for Trump, 229 for Kamala Harris. You need 270 to win. So Trump has 36 more than he needs. Now, even in a more generous scenario where the battleground states go to Kamala Harris, so for instance, Arizona, let's say she wins Arizona. That gives her 240. Trump still has 295. He has 25 more than he needs. Let's give her Pennsylvania, which is 19. And Trump still wins. So Trump could lose Arizona and Pennsylvania and still win this election under my scenario. So there you go. But I have those 2 states under Trump. And that's my projection. So if we look at the West Coast, that's gone. There's no way that Trump wins the West Coast. That's all leftist. No way he wins most of New England. The exception would be New Hampshire. But let's say he doesn't win New Hampshire. Then they run the whole Northeast blue. Well, that doesn't make much of a change. Let's say she gets Arizona on top of that. Well, it gets a little more challenge for Trump. She gets Michigan. Trump still wins. So she gets Arizona, Michigan, New Hampshire. Trump still wins by holding Pennsylvania and the Midwest. but that's not going to happen. So let's go back to where we were. All right, 306. There you go. Oh, the hair won't be too short. Still have load shedding. Power's off for a few hours. All right. Well, thank you guys for that, sharing that. Okay, let me get back to this. Okay, there we go. How will Chiefs fans feel with Taylor Swift endorsement of Kamala Harris? Mahomes' wife is Republican. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't have any bearing. Shouldn't have any bearing on it whatsoever. Football should have no impact, just like Taylor Swift, no impact. All right, that's going to do it, folks. Thanks a lot for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you all for the super chats. Thanks for an incredible Cosmic Surfer just subscribed, I suspect, because of the Ramon video. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good evening. I've got to get a haircut. I've got veterans meetings all night tonight. It's going to be a difficult night with that going on. And I'm feeling a little bit slightly under the weather. So not flu or anything like that, but just physically something else going on. Do people in Maine actually vote? I thought they just moonshine. Moonshine is actually not what Maine is famous for. That would be in the hills of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio. If he does, they will contest the election. Yes, Jeff, you're right about that. Michael, you're welcome. I'll pass the word along. Thank you so much. All right, that's it. We're done here. It's been a pleasure, as always. Y'all take care of yourselves. And don't forget, earlier we had our opening song was from the Singing Cowboy from Texas. That's right. Where's this at? Hang on a second there. Yeah, there we go. Dean Chancey with God Bless the RSA. All right, folks, thanks. Be safe out there. And it's been a lovely time. Enjoyed it with you. Cheers.